badly injured during the George Floyd protests and now claims that a San Antonio police officer used excessive force. One San Antonio man now suing that officer and they say it's not about the money.
Correction, accountability. The financial recompense is secondary to the idea that this police officer has not been charged and not anything has happened to him.
And accountability for other officers who he says failed to step in.
They didn't look at him. They didn't offer medical care. They did nothing. They hustled this cop out of there and left him laying on the ground bleeding.
The protest last summer in San Antonio erupted following the death of George Floyd at the hands of a Minneapolis police officer, now convicted in his death. Hundreds in San Antonio marched in protest for several nights. Police were called to enforce a curfew. Maloney says there are several videos from witnesses there that night that show this was a clear civil rights violation.
The idea that it did happen here, and it did happen here in this town, and instead of fixing the problem, it was swept away.
Against the city of San Antonio and San Antonio police. Now, KSAT did reach out to the city for comment. We are still waiting to hear from them. Isis?
Thank you, Patty. A toddler left paralyzed along one side of her body, an 80-year-old man killed. Tonight, 2 people are now indicted in that case. Danielle Thayez and Selena Hernandez were driving down Rigsby Avenue near Covington Road when 80-year-old Antonio Martinez was hit and killed back in March. Investigators say they were driving at nearly 90 miles per hour before the crash and also had Hernandez's 2-year-old daughter in the car. The district attorney's office says the child was not properly restrained in the car, leaving her with several spinal fractures.
We now know the name of a man who police say was murdered on the city's south side this past weekend. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office says 40-year-old Adam Hernandez was killed overnight Saturday into Sunday. A driver passing by found him lying on the ground in the 1800 block of East South Cross. Police say he had been shot several times and was pronounced dead at the scene. At that time, police say there were no witnesses to the shooting. So far, no reports of any arrests. We also have a few more details tonight surrounding the communication problems during a house fire in Fair Oaks Ranch yesterday. The radio project manager says Fair Oaks Ranch is outside the coverage area's existing system. The plan is to incorporate Fair Oaks Ranch by adding a new radio site within 1.5 miles of the area. We began asking questions about this after firefighters had trouble communicating by radio while trying to fight Thursday's fire there. No injuries were reported, but a cause is still unknown tonight. It's also unclear when that new radio site will be built to improve communications.
We have another drowning to report as we head into the 4th of July weekend. The latest case happening today on the Comal River. 62-year-old Albert Aranda from Farmington, New Mexico was pronounced dead after going under the water near a tube chute in New Braunfels. This comes after a tragic incident earlier this week when a San Antonio father and son drowned while visiting the beach in Port Aransas. Boaters are also reminded to stay safe in the water. That includes not boating while under the influence. Texas game wardens also advise you to keep life jackets on board for all passengers and make sure you have your registration. Game wardens can stop you to do a safety water check at any time in the water.
Communications giant AT&T has decided to hang up on the Spurs when it comes to their corporate dollars. Starting in the fall of 2022, the Spurs home arena will no longer be known as the AT&T Center. With more on this breaking story this holiday weekend, let's head over to our Greg Simmons.
And this does not come as a shock to the Spurs, by the way, at all. Now, that's not all that's going to happen here. AT&T also sold its minority stake in the Spurs as part of the investor shakeup that occurred just last week. This is all according to Front Office Sports tonight. The reports AT&T decided not to renew their naming rights contract that paid the Spurs $2 million a year, considered to be on the low end of such sponsorships. They also sold their 7% share of the team in the recent ownership shakeup that now involves Michael Dell out of Austin. Sixth Street, a private equity firm based in San Francisco, has new investors of about 30% of the team. This was considered a high probability when an AT&T merged with SBC back in 2005 and then moved their corporate headquarters from San Antonio to Dallas. By comparison, AT&T pays the Cowboys $20 million a season for the naming rights for the Dallas Cowboys home stadium in Arlington. Spurs did not respond for our request for a comment, and there also may be another factor in the AT&T's decision decision to cut off the Spurs. Got that for you coming up in sports. Tim?
Big changes tonight. Thank you, Greg. Take a look at this. An underwater pipeline leak led to a portion of the Gulf of Mexico actually catching on fire. Some people who saw the viral video called it the Eye of Fire, something like out of the movie Lord of the Rings. Pemex, the Mexican oil company, says that fire originated from a gas leak in a submarine pipeline early this morning. No one was hurt. Pemex claims there was no oil spill associated with that fire, and it was brought under control.
3 big stories to know tonight. There are more questions than answers in a shooting outside a bar this morning. A man was found shot in his arm and chest outside Morales Ice House on Frio City Road. Police still don't know who shot him or why. Someone tipped off police to the shooting just before 5 this morning and then hung up. Investigators hope surveillance video will help in the case.
A big shift in the Middle East tonight. The U.S. Army closing Bagram Airfield, the facility serving as the base for U.S. military operations in Afghanistan for the past 20 years. This as the Biden administration tries to withdraw the remaining 2,500 American troops by September 11th. There are also concerns about what happens to thousands of Afghan citizens who are now targets for retaliation by the Taliban after working alongside U.S. troops. The U.S. is reportedly in talks with 3 Central Asia countries to temporarily house those Afghans while they await U.S. visas.
More people are heading back into the workforce as the pandemic subsides, but more positions are still available. Places like Hometown Burger are still looking for half a dozen employees at each of their locations. They've bumped up the starting pay to $13 an hour. Workforce Solutions Alamo also says more than 20,000 unemployment claims are still being filed monthly.
To the latest tonight on the condo collapse in Surfside, Florida, 22 people now confirmed dead. More than 100 people still unaccounted for. The search and rescue mission could now be complicated by Hurricane Elsa. The National Weather Service is on site as crews evacuate items that could be unsafe in a storm. And just south of Surfside, a condo building in North Miami Beach was evacuated after the city deemed it was unsafe.
Still ahead on the Nightbeat, one San Antonio student gets crafty and competitive. The competition that has him showing off his shoes coming up.
Plus, 4th of July travel is ramping up. The experienced travelers at the San Antonio airport are sharing, and the new proposal airlines could face when it comes to checked bags. Next on the Nightbeat. A busy travel day, cancellations and delays at the San Antonio International Airport and airports across the nation as the busy Independence weekend gets underway. Many getting out of town for the first time since last year's lockdown. The Night Team's Jonathan Cotto spoke with airport officials and travelers who say they're prepared to wait it out.
The San Antonio International Airport Public Relations Manager says the number of passengers this time around is expected to be sky high.
This weekend we are expecting between 14 and 15,000 passengers a day, and so it feels like excitement because I know a lot of people have gotten their vaccinations and they feel comfortable with traveling.
FlightAware, a flight tracking service, shows 61 delays today and 15 cancellations. One passenger trying to get back home to Ohio after military training.
Well, we've kind of heard that it's been weather and the weekend coming up, and so essentially we're just kind of dealing with what it is.
Travel plans becoming more of a headache for one passenger who says it's been a rough start since her departure to San Antonio from Baltimore.
We had to be in San Antonio about 9:30 in the morning for our funeral, so we had to switch, buy a new plane ticket for Southwest. 5 of us in my family run. I had to go back to baggage claim, uncheck my bag, go back through security again, then board with Southwest.
With airlines reporting a staffing shortage, a product of the pandemic, some travelers say they're prepared to deal with the inconveniences.
Oh yeah, I'm fully prepared. I got my computer, I got some books, got some good podcasts to go with, so I'm all ready.
Hope says it's always important to arrive early to the airport. A reminder, you're still required.
This neighborhood's been very supportive. They check in on my husband and my stepdaughter while I'm gone, so it's been fun to have them as part of the journey and just have them cheering me on as I practice, whether it's in the driveway or running around the neighborhood.
Kat Osterman gets an Olympic send-off of her neighbors as she comes out of retirement looking for redemption in Tokyo and big board sports. But first. As we told you at the top of our newscaster, San Antonio Spurs have lost AT&T as the naming rights sponsor for the home arena starting the fall of 2022. That's when their contract with the Silver and Black runs out and will no longer be known as AT&T Center. Now, that's according to Front Office Sports tonight that says AT&T decided not to renew their naming rights contract that paid the Spurs $2 million a year, and they are also sold their 7% share of the team in the recent ownership shakeup that now involves Michael Dell out of Austin, Sixth Street, a private equity firm based in San Francisco, as new investors of about 30% of the team. One reason we gave you at the top of the broadcast was AT&T's decision to move their corporate headquarters to Dallas back in 2005. The other, according to Front Office Sports, is a cost-cutting measure to help in their merger of Warner Media with Discovery.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Dallas Cowboys returning to training camp at Oxnard, California, at the same time returning to Hard Knocks. That's according to HBO, who made that announcement today. As a result, the Cowboys become the first NFL team to be featured for a third time, and it comes on the 20th anniversary of the very popular behind-the-scenes show. Cowboys, like the rest of the NFL, missed training camps outside of their team facilities due to the COVID-19 pandemic last season. Now get to return to camping in California. It's also a chance to document the Cowboys' recovery from a 6-10 finish in Mike McCarthy's first season as head coach, and Dak Prescott's return to the field after suffering his catastrophic ankle injury, forcing him to miss most of last season. Hard Knocks will start airing on August the 10th after the Cowboys have already played their first preseason game against the Steelers at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio on August the 5th, also another first. The Heisman Trust confirming today that former USC running back Reggie Bush could have his Heisman returned to him, but only if the NCAA reinstates his season and all these statistics in which he won the Heisman. This comes after Bush himself called for the trophy to return to him and his college statistics reinstated in light of the fact college athletes can now profit off of their names, images, and likenesses. Bush had to return the highest award in college football after an investigation determined that Bush and members of his family accepted cash travel expenses and even a house rent-free along with money to furnish the home. As of today, his 2005 records remain vacated by the NCAA. The Milwaukee Bucks have taken a 3-2 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals over the Atlanta Hawks and only need one more win to advance to the NBA Finals. Both teams missing their stars. Giannis Antetokounmpo out with a hyperextended knee, and the Hawks' Trae Young sidelined with a bone bruise in his right foot. Someone else would have to step up, and they did. Milwaukee jumped out to a 30-10 lead. Never looked back. Bobby Portis got the start in place of Giannis, wound up scoring a career playoff high of 22. But it was a play of Brook Lopez who led Milwaukee with a career playoff high of his own with 33 points that stood out. But he also had a lot of help from 4 starters with 22 points or more. Chris Middleton was one of them with 26. Drew Holiday adding 25 in the 123-112 win. How much did last night's game feel like a throwback to the days when the post position dominated?
I'm just trying to go out there and help my team however possible, whether it's, playing that new modern 3-ball game, 4-stretch game, or being inside. And what was great about today is we were really all just basketball players playing together, both on offense and on defense. We were playing off one another, making plays, making extra passes. And it was a lot of fun tonight.
All right, Game 6, by the way, is tomorrow night. An Olympic softball player looking for redemption given a send-off in New Braunfels as she heads to Tokyo. Next. Neighbors lined up on the street in this gated community in New Braunfels to give Olympian Kat Osterman a send-off today to the delayed 2020 Olympics that begin July 23rd in Japan. She's only one of 2 holdovers from the 2018 that was upset by Japan 3-1. To make it even more frustrating, Osterman was the starting pitcher that day. The lefty has been waiting for redemption for this long after softball was actually eliminated as an Olympic competition until now. Now it's back, and Kat has come out of retirement and hopes to make the most of her chance at getting back to gold that she won in 2004.
Obviously, the Olympic stage is the biggest stage in sports, so it's obviously a great excitement to be headed over there. More than anything, just finally excited that the time has come. It's been a long wait. It's extremely special. I think in 2008, softball was voted out, and so I didn't know if I'd ever have this chance again. So it's been quite a journey to get back there.
Osterman coaches softball for Texas State. Her husband is the golf coach also for the Bobcats. And how about that? Practicing in her driveway in New Braunfels before she goes to the Olympics. That is awesome. And this has been 13 years in the making for this redemption opportunity.
Good. The Olympian next door. Pretty cool.
Very cool, yes.
Thank you, Greg.
We'll be right back.
Finally tonight, check this out. The Statue of Liberty's so-called little sister has arrived in New York City. The replica statue from France weighs in 1,000 pounds and stands about 9 feet tall. It's made from the same plaster mold as the original 1878 Statue of Liberty. It'll be on display at Ellis Island over the Independence Day holiday weekend before heading to Washington, D.C. for France's Bastille Day on July 14th.
And I want to point out we have Hurricane Elsa that's moved into the Caribbean, Category 1 storm, likely to be a Category 1 as it heads toward Cuba toward the end of the weekend, and then somewhere near Florida, likely as a tropical storm, maybe low-end hurricane early next week.
That does it for the Night Beat. Don't forget, Good Morning San Antonio starts tomorrow at 6.
Good night.